Hi, this is Ilma Art Studios photograph for today. A sunset view in one of the parks in Orangeville. Hi, check my website for more artworks and photographs at ilmaarts.com. That's ILMAARTS.com. Today I'd like to share with you my poem devotional extracted from Numbers 21 verses 4 to 5. It says, "But the people grew impatient with the long journey, and they began to speak against God and Moses." Here's my poem. Sin of impatience. If you lose your cool when you don't get things right away, there is a danger to grumble wanting things your way. When you think that you shouldn't wait on anyone, the sin of impatience opens up the door to the evil one. Each time you succumb to impatience, there are more sins to face, so be patient. When you react negatively to waiting, it will lead you to react and much grumbling. My father didn't like waiting on anyone. The ironic thing is that my mother is not a very punctual person. Maybe God put them together to learn something from each other. I guess my impatience was handed down to me by my father, but was reinforced in my life when I lived with a very impatient and angry man. I literally walked on eggshells when I lived with this person because he exploded each time someone kept him waiting. He is a punctual man and he expects no less from others. Each time someone desecrates his punctuality, he would go on a rage fit, and as a result, lost many job offers and friends because of his explosions. The Bible tells us clearly that impatience led the Israelites to grumble and speak against God and Moses. Prayer. Lord, deliver me from impatience. Reflection. How can one develop the virtue of patience? This is a very hard question to answer for me because sometimes I still have bouts of impatience. But I think that if we learn to refocus to God, I think impatience is going to be easy to do. In other words, if we see how God is and how Jesus was when he was alive here on earth, how he was gentle and patient to everybody, even to people who was trying to kill him or reject him. The only way we can develop the virtue of patience is when we look up to Jesus, because he is a perfect example of humility. And even he, who is God himself, didn't claim that he was God or boast to everybody else that he should be given attention to or be important. In fact, he did the opposite. He tried to serve others. So when there is impatience in you, you have to evaluate yourself, because in impatience lies pride. In other words, like you don't want to wait on anybody because you think you're very important and your time is very important. So the thing that comes up there with impatience is that it's me. Why are you doing this to me? What about me? What about me? What about me? So it also shows a tinge of selfishness when you're impatient. But the root cause of impatience is pride. So anybody who is pride, and pride is the worst sin, because in pride stems all other sins. So in this verse in Numbers, it showed that because they were impatient in the journey that they were taking through the promised land, they started grumbling, and grumbling is another sin, or complaining. And then apart from that, they started speaking against God and Moses, which in effect, when we start to be impatient about somebody, we tend to go the enemy opens that door, that small door that we have opened by being unable to wait, then it makes it bigger and brings you to more other sins. So, for you to be able to develop the virtue of patience, I think you should be in the Word of God every day. And I think you should pray for God to give you the grace to be delivered from impatience, and try to ask God to find out the root of your impatience, because there's always a root to a sin. And sometimes it could be a generational sin passed on to you without you even knowing, or sometimes it's just the enemy wants you to be ignorant and not work hard on yourself so that you will continue to sin. So thanks for watching, and I hope you check my website at ilmaarts.com. Have a wonderful and blessed day.